Hello, my name is Erica Renee. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I created this pretty in pink look. If you would like to recreate, go ahead and keep watching so that you can follow along. Spend some time up today with Erica Renee. We'll discuss beauty, hair, makeup, family. So come on, have fun, get ready. Hello, starting with a freshly washed face, I'm going to go in with my Neutrogena oil-free moisturizer and moisturize my face. Now that my face moisturized, I'm going to move on to my eyebrows. First thing I do for my eyebrows is I go in with the spoolie and I brush them in the direction that I want them to go. Now that they're brushed the correct direction, I'm going to go in with a thin slanted brush and my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade in the color dark brown, and I'm going to fill them in. So the way I fill my eyebrows in is starting at the bottom of my eyebrow, I create an outline. And I start at the bottom and I pull the outline towards the middle. And then I move on to the top of my eyebrow and I outline that one and pull that towards the middle. Then once they meet up, I start filling them in, and then I continue on to my tail and I fill that in. Then I go back to the front and I use hair-like strokes, brushing upward to fill in the front so that it gives it a more natural look. Now that I have my eyebrows filled in, I'm going to clean them up by going in with my Fit Me Maybelline concealer in Cafe, which is the number 50. And I'm going to use the stick that it comes with, and I'm going to draw it close on the bottom of my eyebrow, and then also go up to the top of my eyebrow, just so that my eyebrow looks sharp and neat. And now that I have that concealer placed, I'm going to go in with a different flat slanted brush and I'm going to blend that concealer out. On the bottom, I'm going to be pulling the concealer down towards my eyelid and just making sure that the line is straight and neat. And then on the top, I'm going to be pulling that concealer up towards my forehead. the concealer blended out, I'm going to go back in with the spoolie and I'm going to brush the front of my eyebrow just so that it thins it out and makes it look more hair-like and not like I just took a black marker to my forehead. And since my eyeshadow look today is very light, I'm switching up my eyeshadow base and I'm going in with my NYX eyeshadow base in the color ESB01, which is white. And to apply that, I'm going to be using a flat, fluffy brush to get that all over my eyelid. That eyeshadow base place, I'm going to take my finger and pat it dry. But on top of that, I'm going to go in with my Airspun translucent powder in the color Honey Beige, and I'm going to use that to set my eyeshadow by taking a thick fluffy brush to apply it. Now that I have that eyeshadow primer set, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to take my Dolce by Juvia's palette and I'm going to dip that into the sparkly pink, which is called Puffs, and I'm going to put that on the front half of my eyelid. that I have that place, I'm going to take that same flat brush and I'm going to go back into the same palette, and I'm going to take this pink color Creme and I'm going to apply that to the outer half of my eyelid. My lid colors place, I'm going to go back into the palette with a small fluffy brush and I'm going to dip it into this purplish pink called Custard. I guess it's magenta, I don't know. And I'm going to apply that into the outer V, and then I'm going to pull it across as like a transition color. Okay, now that I have that placed, I'm going to go in with a short blending brush and I'm going to put that in Berry Mousse in the Dolce palette, and I'm going to apply that to my brow bone just to keep my eyebrows looking sharp and clean. Eyeshadows have been placed, I'm going to go in with a medium-sized, clean, fluffy bending brush, and I'm just going to go over all the lines to make sure they're blended smoothly. Now once that's done, I'm going to go in with my Revlon Colorstay liquid liner in the color black, and I'm going to give myself a small wing. Now that my eyeliner is done, I'm going to go in with my Pumped Up Colossal Volume Express by Maybelline New York, and I'm going to apply that mascara to my top eyelashes. Now I'm going to go ahead and prep my lips, with some chapstick because I'm using a matte lipstick. I don't want my lips to be cracked. And moving right along, I'm going to go in with my false lashes by the Bawdy Boutique in the style Roll Up, and I'm going to be applying those by using my dual eyelash glue in the shade Dark. And to apply those, I just apply the eyelash glue to the lash line, and then I pick them up with my tweezers, and I find it most helpful to look down into a small compact mirror as I place them to get them as close as possible to my lash line. Now that my eyes are complete, I'm going to move on to my face. Before I put any products on my face, I'm going to take a makeup remover wipe and just clean up some of the excess of that eyeshadow primer before I go in with my primer and my foundation. Now that that's cleaned up, I'm going to go in with my Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Protector, and I'm going to apply that to my face so that my foundation lasts. Now that I have my primer applied, I'm going to go in with my Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation in the color Coconut number 355. And to apply that, I just place the foundation on the back of my hand, and then I take a flat foundation brush and dip that into the foundation and apply it to my face. have my foundation applied with a foundation brush, I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild Photo Finish in Natural and apply that to a damp beauty blender. And then I'm going to just blend out my face, making the foundation look more skin-like. And now that my foundation is set, I'm going to go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer. And I'm going to be using this in the color Fawn as my first highlighting shade. I'm going to be making a triangle under my eyes. And then I'm also going to apply it to the bridge of my nose, my forehead, my cupid's bow, and my chin. Now that I have my concealer set for our contour, I'm going to go in with my Black Opal True Color in the shade Ebony Brown. And I'm going to be applying these to my cheeks, right under my cheekbones. Now that my highlight and concealer are placed, I'm going to go in with a Real Techniques blending beauty blender, and I'm going to again spray that with my Wet n Wild Natural Finish setting spray, and I'm going to go ahead and blend all that out. Now that I have that all blended out, I'm going back in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer, this time in the shade True Beige. And I'm going to apply that to all the same places I applied the original concealer. I'm just going to, when I put it under my eye, I'm going to focus on the inner eye corner and then a small amount on the outer edge of my eye. have that all set, I'm going to go back in with that Real Techniques Beauty Blender. And again, I'm going to spray it with my Wet n Wild finishing spray. And I'm going to blend that out. I paused my recording because my son needed me and I forgot to turn the camera back on. So you missed me setting my highlight concealer in my face. I will link the products that I use to do that in the description box. And now that my face has been magically set, I'm going to go in with my Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette. And I use that, I'm going to be using that for my blush. I'm going to go in to the shade Xanabar, and I'm going to be using a slanted fluffy brush, and then I'm going to apply that to the apple of my cheeks and pull it up towards my temple. Next, I'm going to be going in with a fluffy highlighter brush, and I'm going to be going back in with that Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette, and I'm going to be using the color Seychelles, and then I'm going to apply that to the top of my cheekbones. I also apply it to the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and my Cupid's bow. Now that my blush and highlighter has been applied, I'm going to go in with my Essence Kajal pencil in the shade number 4, which is white. And I'm just going to apply that to my lower waterline, just to give my eyes a nice pop. And then I'm going to go back in with that Maybelline Colossal Pumped Up mascara, and I'm going to apply that to my lower eyelashes. And now I'm going to finish out this look by moving on to my lips. I'm going to go in with my NYX Liquid Suede in the color Club Hopper. And I'm kind of going to be using this as a lip liner because I'm going for an ombre look with my lipstick. So I'm going to apply that sort of like a lip liner. Club Hopper applied, I'm going to go in with another Liquid Suede, and this is in the shade Sandstorm. And I'm just going to apply that to the areas that I left open to create an ombre look. This is the final look. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for following along. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Spend some time up today.